This is the second game from the set from June 2007. This game is significantly harder than the previous game, the first game, which was a very simple sequencing game. This is a game where you would do well to spend 8 to 10 minutes on this game, but it's significantly harder, but it's not that difficult. The setup's actually quite simple, and the rules are not very restrictive, meaning that you have plenty of opportunities to just start, to just like put stuff on the game board because there aren't that many rules. Okay, so let's take a look at the premises to see how we do the setup. So we have exactly three films, G, H, and L. Okay, so write that down, G, H, and L. Those look like game pieces, and they're being shown during a festival held on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Okay, so Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Say 4, 5, and 6, or you can write Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever you want to write out is fine. I think of the days of the week in numbers. So write it out like this. So this is a grouping and the sequencing game, right? They're going to want you to distribute these items into these groups. So on Thursday, what films are being shown, right? Well, on Friday, what films are being shown? On Saturday, what films are being shown? Something like that. So these are our game pieces, and this is our game board. Okay, so let's keep reading the stimulus. Each film is shown at least once during the festival, but never more than once on any given day. So of GHL, they have to all appear at least once. You can't, L can't like, oh, I'm going to sit this one out. Nope, that doesn't happen. L has to make an appearance either on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And on any given day, you only get a maximum of one of these guys, right? L, H, G. You can't like G can't be shown twice on one day, right? So at max, right, we have 3 slots. That's the maximum. You don't want to write that in because writing that in means that there are 3 slots. No, what we're saying is at maximum there are 3 slots. So let's read the rest of the rules. On Thursday, Harvest is shown and no film is shown on it after. H is definitely on Thursday, and then after H, nothing happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent that by just closing off this category. So that leaves some space up here, but I'm not going to draw in any slots. I don't want to draw in slots because, see, if I draw that in, that implicitly means, oh, I need to put 2 guys in here. Who knows? Maybe H is the only film shown on Thursday, right? Or maybe there's one other film shown before H. That's why I don't want. I just want to leave the space. The space tells me, oh, possibly something could be here. On Friday, either G or L, but not both, is shown, and no film are shown on it after that day. So on Friday, it's sort of the same rule as the Thursday rule, except it's either G or L, and then nothing happens after. But then additionally, we don't get to have both G and L, right? So whatever we choose, the other one, the other of L or else G, this other one doesn't get to be here. So I'm going to write it like that. So let's just erase this. Let's erase this. So really what this means is that we're going to pick one of G or L, and the other possibility is really just H. So either H is present on Friday or H is not present on Friday. That's it. So either of those 2 worlds get to pair up with G or L. So on Friday we have 4 possible scenarios, right? G by itself, G with H before it, or L by itself, L with H before it. And then on Saturday we have either G or H, but not both. Are shown and no film is shown after it. So it's really the same rule as the Friday rule, except now we're dealing with G or else H, right? So again, same thing. I'm going to close it off just so that I remember nothing comes after it, right? Because you see, this is a grouping game and a sequencing game. You have to sequence within the groups and you have to sort by the groups. That's why this game is a little bit harder. And of course, the same thing. The other one, whichever one we don't choose of G and H, so H/G, put it in a circle. I'm going to cross it out. Right, so the only option here left is for L. So either L appears with G, or L appears with H, or L doesn't appear and it's just G, or L doesn't appear and it's just H. So you see 4 possibilities here, 4 possibilities here, and then over here we have a bunch of possibilities, either H by itself, or LG before H, or I don't know, GL before H, right, or just G, or just L, right, or H by itself, which we already talked about. So you see, there are plenty of options here. But the great thing is that there really aren't that many rules for us to contradict, right? There's just, like closing this off already helps us, prevents us from contradicting a lot of the potentially, running afoul of those potential rules. So that's it. So this is where you just want to be like, okay, well, look, I don't have that many rules, which means pretty much anything goes, right? I can just start like, tossing the items into these categories, right? Without being sort of too timid about it. Okay, so now let's take a look at the questions. Question 6, complete an accurate list in order where the films are shown. Okay, so let's make sure we have H's across on Thursday as a last film. So H, H, H. Oh, no, this is not good. You see, L is after H. That's not possible. So D's gone. Next up, we have for Friday, let's check. You only have GL. right? Not both, but you have to have at least one, and that's the last one. So Friday, L is the last one. Oh, this one has both G and L. That's not good, right? L is last. This one's already gone. And LH, that's not good. L has to be last, so this one's gone. And then finally, check for Saturday, GH, right? Saturday, you have to have GH, not both of them, but definitely one of them has to be a last one. So H is fine, and this one has G, and that's fine, okay? So we're between A and C. So now what? Well, there was that previous rule about how, on each day a film has to be shown, but we see that's fine, right? Thursday has a film, Friday has a film, Saturday has a film, same here. And then there's another rule about how H, G, and L, all three of them have to make at least one appearance, and that's what gets rid of A, because this one doesn't have G, right? Where's G in this? That's why C is the correct answer choice. Question 7 says, which one following cannot be true, right? Cannot be true. A says H is the last film on each day of the festival. So it could be last over here, could be last over here, but there's no way H is last over here. So that's why A is the correct answer choice. This can't be true. B says you have L on each of the days. I mean, that's fine. You could definitely have L over here. Nothing prevents you. There are no rules preventing L from being here, right? L could definitely be here, and then, of course, L could be here too, right? There, again, no rules. So this is fine. C says G is shown second on each day. Sure, G could be second here. See, the reason I'm so comfortable saying G could be second is because there are no rules here. That's why, they can say whatever. G is the first. That's fine too, right? G is second over here. Yeah, sure. You could just have one. You could have H before G, and then makes G the second film, right? G is second over here. Yeah, sure. You can have L before G, making G second, right? Here, of course, if G is second, you have to put LGH, but that's fine too. And the different film is shown first on each of the days. Yeah, sure. You can let's just have one film each, right? So we have H, L, and G. So then it's different. And E is the same thing. A different film is shown last. Yeah, same situation eliminates E, right? H, L, and G. So they're both the first and the last because we're only showing one film each day. H says if L is never shown again during the festival, once G is shown, then which one following is a maximum number of showings? So we want to maximize the number of movies we see, but once G is shown, then L just never ever appears again. So basically all of our L's, so that means that all of our L's, however many we have, they all have to be before the G. So let's think strategically about this. How do you want to do this, right? So basically you want to either put G at the very end, right? At the very end, so that you can fit in all the L's before it. That's one way to do it. Or the other way to do it is if you want to put G, sort of earlier on, then you only get that one L before the G, and then you have to fit in the G's as much as you can after that, right? So both ways should be okay. So let's try to put over here. Let's put L in over here, right? At this point, you're copying this. Here, I'll just do that. You don't want to write on your master game board. You just copy one over right next to your question. And this is good, especially for the newer LSATs where you actually have pretty much every LSAT going forward now. You're going to have 2 pages to do the questions on, not like this where everything's crammed onto one page. So you have plenty of space, right? So you have to make your sub game boards. Okay, so let's try. Let's put L into here. No G's, right? Because if you put a G over here, you don't get any more L's this way. So no G's yet, right? So this one, choose L, and then of course put the H in, right, to maximize it. And then over here, you have to choose a G over here, so you don't get the H, and then of course we can get the L over here, right before it. So that's it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. That seems like the max. I mean, how would you do a 7, right? I mean, maybe one possible way is to switch out the G and the L, where G happens first, but this is not something you would do right away. This is something you would do later if you actually had time, right? And that's kind of why I went ahead and finished the other questions, and then if I have time, I will come back and try it because I'm relatively certain 6 is right. Who knows though, right? Who knows about 7, right? So maybe I don't know. Maybe I was thinking like maybe you could do something like L first and then G, right? Squeeze an L and G both in there. And now of course the G has appeared, so the L's can't appear anymore, right? So then of course H appears over here before that, and then over here it doesn't matter. You choose one, but that's it, right? So you don't get the L. The L was the option over here, but you don't get that anymore because the G already appeared. So then of course you're choosing one over here, one between the G and the H. And if you count that, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 also. So even if you do it this way, it's still 6. 6 is the max. But see, this is not something you would do right away because it's not a good use of your time. Relatively certain it's D. Just choose it. Move on to the next question. Question 9 tells us that greed is shown 3 times. So we got 3 G's and we have 2 H's and exactly 1 L. So how are we going to do this, right? So that's the question here, to figure out how are you going to distribute the 3 G's and 2 H's and 1 L. So the first thing you do You're given new information in the stimulus. That means you have to copy the game board over, a mini game board right next to it. So let's try to distribute all three. So if we're choosing all three G's, which means this is not happening, this is not happening, right? And we're definitely getting a G in here somewhere. I'm going to write it over here because I don't really know if it's first or second, right? Because I don't know about this L yet. And we have two H's. So look, you already have an H here. This one you don't get to have the other H because you're choosing GH and then not the other one. So we chose G, so we don't get an H over here, right? So no H over here. We already have an H over here. How are you going to get two H's? Well, the other H has to be over here. So now this is taken care of. And then finally we get one L. Well, this one L is not going to be over here, right? Because we've chosen the G. You see, you don't get the other one. The other one here is the L. So we don't get the L over here, but then the L could flip around either into 6 or the L could be over here into 4. And if it's in 4, we're not really clear where it goes. It could go before the G or it could go after the G. So really it's 3 options, right? Either L in 6 or LGH in 4 in Thursday or GLH in Thursday. Okay, so those are the 3, and we're representing it this way. You could split the game board up into those 3 and represent that out if you want, but I don't know. I feel like this is sort of compact enough and much quicker where you're not trading off too much confusion. Right? I guess it's a little confusing to look at this, but hopefully it's not that bad. So okay, A says all 3 films are shown on Thursday. Is that possible? Yeah, sure, that's definitely possible. But must it be true? Right? It doesn't have to be true. We could drop the L into Saturday, in which case it's not the case that all 3 are shown on Thursday. Exactly 2 are shown on Saturday. Again, it could be true, not it must be true. Just like A, it could be true, but it doesn't have to be true. You see, L doesn't have to be here. C says LH are both shown on Thursday. No. Right? It could be true. L could be shown with H on Thursday. Not it must be true. D says G is the only film shown on Saturday. Yeah, again, it could be true, or we could have L and G both being shown on Saturday. And then H, G are both shown on Friday. That has to be true. There's no variability there. So E is the correct answer choice. Question 10 says, if L is shown 3 times, H twice, G once, which one following complete accurately? So again, it's very similar to question 9. But the first thing you do is you copy over your game board, your mini game board, and you just copy it right over next to your question. And then you jot down what the premises are telling you, which is that now we have 3 L's, and we have 2 H's, and exactly 1 G is what we have. Okay, so let's try to make that happen. Right? How do you get 3 L's? Well, if you get 3 L's, that means that L is appearing in each and every single one of these. So we have the L over here. We have an L over here. Again, I'm going to put it right above the H, but leave a little space up top, leave a little space on bottom, because I don't know if G gets to be here. Right? So we've taken care of all 3 of our L's. And now, how do we take care of our 2 H's and 1 G? Right? So here we have an H. So really, it's just 1 H and 1 G. We already have our H. So where are we going to put the H and G? Well, where's the other H going to go? You see, I guess the other H could go here, or it could go here. Where's the other G going to go? The other G could go, well, we're not going to go here, right? That's not going to happen for G. So the other G could go here, or it could go here. So at this point, I would definitely split this up even more, right? To take care of my GH. So I would copy this one over, split it, where you make a decision about whether you choose G or H over here. So over here, I'm going to choose G, right? And over here, I'm going to choose H. Okay? So if I choose G over here, I really only have one item left, which is H, right? It's either G or H. So where's H going to go? It's not going to go here, because remember, GH, you only get to choose one. So it's already here. It doesn't get to go here, so it has to go here. Right? And over here, since I'm choosing H, I have the G left to place. Where's the G going to go? It can't go here, because, remember, GH, we're only choosing one. And also can't go here, because we're LG, we're only choosing one. So therefore, the G must go over here, right? But when it goes over here, it could either, sort of be above L or below L. So I'm going to write a G like this, and just put a switch across the two to remind myself that it could be GLH or LGH. So that's it. So on Friday, it's just L that appears. I'm going to put a slash here just to make sure it's not because this blank seems to be saying to me, well, maybe something goes here. Okay, so complete and accurate list of films. It could be the first film shown on Thursday. Well, on Thursday, the first film, it's either an L, right? This is the first, that's in my list, right? What else could be? Well, it could be a G also. So it's LG, that's my list, which is why it's answer choice D.